According to Greek mythology, Zeus gave Pandora a box as a gift, but only under one condition. He said you must never open the box. What happens next shows us why it's a good idea to stay natty and avoid using PEDs. Let me just say the goal of this video is not to insult anyone for using PEDs. I haven't done it, but I can see why you would. Some people need it to live a healthy life. They're illegal in some countries, so don't break the law. But I think using PEDs recreationally could be one of the worst decisions that you make. And in this video, I'm going to talk about 2 of the reasons why. When Zeus gives Pandora the box and tells her to never open it, this makes her very curious about what was inside. She thought to herself, why was I given this gift, but I can't even see what it is? Days would go by, the urge to open the box became so great that one day she finally opens it. All of a sudden, terrible things flew out of the box. All of the world's misery, everything bad you can imagine was trapped inside, but now it was out in the open. Pandora slams the lid shut, but it was too late. In fact, the one thing she trapped inside was hope. Now, of course, this is not to be taken literally. There is no box. Zeus is not God. But it does illustrate for us how one decision can lead to lasting consequences. I'm sure you've heard stories or have seen examples of what's possible on the special supplements. It can be very alluring to know that something out there can give you all those results in that short amount of time. But when you open Pandora's box, sometimes there's no going back. It doesn't matter how much research you do ahead of time. When you mess with your body's natural hormones, it can affect you in ways that you don't understand or can't even comprehend. I'm not just talking about negative side effects. I'm talking big picture. Oftentimes, when we make a decision, we don't play the tape out far enough to understand how that one decision can have lasting consequences. I believe this is true when people start using PEDs. I think that way too many people are locked into this decision where now they have to decide, am I going to keep doing it? And once you experience being on versus off, being off is no longer going to be good enough. I think it's safe to say that most people start using PEDs before reaching their natural genetic potential. To show you why that's not a good idea, picture this. You have 2 cars at a starting line, one red and one blue. Each car has a driver and a full tank of gas. Let's say that they're on a track and the objective is to drive the car for as many laps as possible before running out of fuel. Each driver can fill up the tank one time. Off they go. After a while, the driver of the blue car notices that he has half a tank left, and he decides it's time to fill up. So he pulls into a pit stop, fills up the tank, and off he goes. The driver of the red car goes all the way until his gas light comes on. He pulls into a pit stop, fills up the tank, and off he goes. In this example, the driver of the red car is going to go further than the blue car because the driver of the blue car filled up the tank too soon. He still had half a tank left. This is how I think about how people use PEDs before reaching their natural genetic potential. Now, I know this analogy isn't perfect. You could say, if you're on HRT, that's like continuing to fill up the tank, in which case the blue car would keep going on forever. Or if it's an actual race, and the point is to get to the finish line as quickly as possible, going different speeds requires different amounts of fuel. But if we only look at this in terms of when you fill up the tank for the first time, why not maximize the full tank that you start with? I'm not condoning PED use, but if you're gonna make such a decision, why would you do it before you reach your absolute prime? I think a lot of people don't want to put in years of consistent effort, training, diet, optimizing habits. It's hard to be patient when you're not seeing quick results or the results that you think you could be getting. So it's easy to think, why should I stay natty if there's something out there that can get me to the finish line as quickly as possible? Maybe the objective is not to get to the finish line as quickly as possible. There's a natural limit to how much muscle you can build because doing so takes a huge amount of resources and effort. But what this does is it gives you time to develop as a human fully. And doing it naturally is very beneficial because there is no artificial assistance that will help make up for your lack of work, your lack of consistency. And what this does is it teaches you very early on that if you want to speed up the process, the only way to do it is to optimize your habits, to change your lifestyle. But if you have special supplements that can fill in the void and make up for what you're not doing elsewhere, and you develop this mindset of now I have to rely on that, then I think it cuts a lot of people's journeys short and the benefits that they can learn from the process of doing it naturally. One of the things I've learned over the last 15 years of building my physique, going through the process of self-development, is it's not so much about where I ended up, but more about the journey and what I've learned along the way. I truly believe that doing it natural helped me in ways that I couldn't have imagined. So if you're watching this thinking, you know what, I'm gonna stay natty for as long as possible, I'm happy for you. What it means is your diet and your training is that much more important. So click into this video right here. I talk a little bit about the things that helped me stay consistent with my fitness journey. Anyways, hope that helped you guys. If you liked it, share with someone who needs to hear this message. And of course, until next time, I'll see ya.